Welcome back, my little lambs. It's time for another episode of NT Sheep's Digital Wonderlands. Welcome back, my little lambs, for more Fallout 76 shotgun fun. Today we've got the charging Tesla rifle. It fires 5 beams of energy, and they will bounce between the enemies. You usually just don't see it unless you've got damage numbers on, and then you'll be able to see the numbers popping off enemies to the side of whatever one you have targeted. So let's go ahead and hop into this, and we're going to go out and start with the ghoulies. Well, it looks like we're running into a classic Fallout 76 glitch. You'll get into an area, and all of a sudden, the enemies will just start dropping dead. You haven't hit them or damaged in any way, they just fall over. So, I don't know how many ghouls we're going to be able to test on the hill. We may end up having to go to somewhere else. Hopefully this glitch doesn't follow us to Huntersville. You don't actually have to fully charge up a shot to get this weapon to fire. You can just pull the trigger and it will fire off, but it's not going to be as powerful as it can be. You're noticing we were getting some direct hits on the torso, and we were getting 200 to 300 damage per hit. If we just fired it off without charging, you'd probably see numbers between 75 to 100. So far, this weapon is working out fairly okay, considering it's just a standard one. No legendary effects or anything. The only mod we put on it was the charging barrel. The biggest limitation it has is its ammo capacity. I believe you can change that with some of the capacitors. Obviously, for legendary effects, the quad effect for a first star would be very good. When you're fighting just a single enemy, the animal capacity probably isn't going to be much of a hindrance. We're doing fairly okay through here in Huntersville. When we get to someplace like West Tek, or where there's larger groups of enemies, if we're having to reload a lot, that can slow us down and make it a little bit harder for fighting with this weapon. Looks like we got a blue devil coming to the rest stop. These are random world mini bosses, and they're pretty darn tough, even if you've got, really good legendary weapons. So this will be a good test to see how just a basic weapon like this will work. It may be a bit of a battle for us, though. Unfortunately, his darn howl caused us to run all the way off the cliff, so it's going to be tough to get back up there even with our marsupial mutation, which gives us better jumping height. Well, we finally got the devil down. That was definitely a bit of an interesting battle. There was a lot of times it would just turn around and run from us, and there were several times it looked like the beams were just bouncing everywhere and not even hitting the devil when they obviously should have. There was a couple of point-blank shots that I took, and it looked like the beams just went completely straight off to the side of the screen. But let's go ahead and go to West Tek and do a bit of battling there, and then that's going to be the end of this video. So for storming the castle gates at West Tek, we did pretty darn good. That initial shot we got off that managed to bounce and take out the suicide or super mutant was pretty darn good, and that gave us the perfect setup. All we had to do was just sit there and wait for them to come to us, and you could see we were getting some pretty darn good bounces when we would hit one enemy. Enemies standing just a few feet away were taking anywhere from 75 to 100 points of damage just from the bounce blast effect. So that was pretty darn good. That's going to bring us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, my little lambs, and I hope to see you again next time in the Digital Wonderlands.